Good evening, everybody. It is wonderful to be back. I'm in the middle of getting everything upgraded and everything as far as the setup for the stuff. Um, got a Obviously I got a camera. Still getting. I just got it today, so I'm still working on it. I'm thinking if I want to get something a little bit different. I like the camera quality on this one, but as far it's like I feel like it's making my head seem like it's tilted, even though it's straight on, and it's because of how the camera it doesn't have like any way for me to like adjust it from side to side like that. So it's kind of weird. Obviously, I still got my headphones here, but I don't really need them in. I got a new microphone over here, so hopefully the audio is better. You guys can hear me fine and everything like that. I also got a new desktop. I've been needing a new computer for a while now. So before I was recording on a laptop that I had for. Stuff's about to fall. Let me place these over here. Okay. I had a laptop that I had since, like I said, since I was homeless. I got that laptop in the beginning of 2018, I believe, right around, must have been February or March. But it was, even at that time, it was a few years old. Put it this way, it had Windows 7 on there. But the great thing I liked about it is that, and it's still a good laptop, if not for the broken screen, but it was a very good up-to-date laptop. It had 8 gigs of RAM and i7 quad-core processor. Still runs great. So, but I've upgraded. My next thing is I do want to get I want to get a new graphics card. I want to thinking about going back to Twitch. Um, if you guys don't know, I actually do have a Twitch channel under Kalilas Bro. I might link it in the stuff below. I was on there a lot, not a lot, but I was on there for the time that I was on there. I was able to gain like 40 or 50 subscribers, I believe, something like that. And maybe like a month or two, but then I just stopped doing it. Life happened and never got back to it. Anyway, so sorry for the long intro stuff. Just kind of give you guys an update of where I've been at for whoever is watching. And again, I have to thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming back and watching my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ken Yamini. That is Kenneth Yamini is actually my real name, but Ken Yamini is what I'm calling my channel. You guys can look me up. I'm transparent with everything. So good, bad, ugly, whatever. So it's all there. So today's topic that I would like to discuss is the topic of we're going to be talking about. Well, I'm going to be talking about victim blaming versus accountability, and I'm going to go over this using a Facebook back and forth that I had with somebody that in the end got real ugly. And it got real ugly because from the other's perspective on this topic, I was victim blaming. So let's just get right into what I'm talking about here. So I got my this thing up here. So glad to have this now. Before I wasn't even able to do anything like this, but now I'm able to have this so I can go back and look into stuff. So I'm just going to go down here. I'll be able to go back to the post from here. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. And it all goes back to this post here. So you guys can scan through there real quick. But I'll go over what I'm really going over. So remember, I did a video on this whole purity culture versus Christian sexual ethics thing. And honestly, after I did the video, I was pretty much done with this topic. But what happened was this girl here, actually I'll go down to it. Although I know Carrie had asked me not to mention any names or anything like that, but honestly, with the way that this stuff went down, I'm going to do what I'm going to do because if we're going to start being disrespectful, then I don't feel like I have to hide anything. And Facebook is a public forum, so it is what it is on this thing here. So anyway, this girl right here uh, felt the need to chime in and give her input, which is, great, cool, whatever. If you want to give your input and everything like that, that's fine. But just understand that I don't know this girl. She's friends with Carrie and John and a few other people on this post because they all went to college together at Greenville and stuff. But I don't know this person from a random person on the street, and neither does this person know me. Even the poster of this stuff here, John, he doesn't necessarily know me. He knows me through Carrie. Okay, and Carrie, as I mentioned before, I knew her through youth group. I went to youth group back when I was like started going when I was like 14 or 15 years old. Introduced by one of my good friends, Gino, and that's how I know Carrie. So, and again, she married this guy. I guess they must have met in college or something. And that's just give you guys some background as far as the relationship and how that goes. But this person here, I don't know them. I don't know their background. I don't assume anything about them. And so she made this comment here. Okay. And again, as I said in some of my last videos, if you guys feel the need to really want to read through the comments and read what was said, feel free to do so. Pause the video so you can understand that I'm not taking anything out of context. I'm not adding in verbiage or adding in my thoughts. I am literally just responding to what was given to me. So the gist of this post basically said that she was I don't want to use the R word because I guess it dings the platform. So as I said with the other person, her purity was stripped from her in a time that she was not all the way there because she had got blackout drunk. Okay. That's pretty much the gist of what this post says. Okay. She also goes into, let me see. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me see here. Oh, okay, yeah. So I had went back and forth. This was I apologize, guys. I guess that's why I said I was done with this stuff, man. Okay, so I think I actually talked about this before in the last video of where she was talking about being vulnerable to a family member and stuff like that. And like I've always said, and I will continue to say, I believe that anybody that takes a person's purity and forces themselves upon a person without their consent should be dealt with. Let me look at the camera when I say this. That person should be dealt with severely. That person should get the book thrown at them. And this is in no way of saying that what that person did is okay. What I'm again getting into it, this is not saying that what that person did is okay. They need to have the book thrown at them. Okay? Again, I'm just giving context to everything here. Okay, so let me keep going down. And again, I had when it comes to this stuff, I had really backed out of this stuff. Matter of fact, here it is right here. This is where everybody got mad at me. So you got to understand, I woke up to this. This is something that she posted, either must have been early morning or late night or something like that. And when I got up and checked my phone, must have been about 6 o'clock. That's when alarm goes off, and that's when I start getting the kids up and stuff for getting ready for school. So she posted this, and this is I had kind of explained it before, but I'll explain it again. Again, you guys can go and read through the stuff. She posted it on Facebook. It's on a public forum, and everything like that. And honestly, the way, again, I don't know this person from any other person. So again, I am just taking the information that was given to me and replying to this information here. Now, the thing that really took me back about this one and why I replied the way I did is because, one, I could feel that this person was looking for coddling, looking for sympathy, and look, I'm not one to just I don't mind giving sympathy in some cases, stuff like that, but I'm also not one to just bite my tongue or bite my lip, especially to a person who, again, I don't know you. I'm just gonna treat you just like I would treat any other person. Honestly, though, to just keep it 100 with you guys, I keep the same energy and I keep the same thing with my mom, my biological sisters, my brothers, and everything like that. This is just how I am. Okay, I don't bite my tongue on my stuff. So, hopefully you guys have had a chance to read this and everything like that. But like I said, the part that really caught me was when she said that I and other women, in fact, are not livestocks. And the reason why that pissed me off is just because, like, that's not what I said. And again, I'm going to read you guys exactly what my response was to this. But I made sure to let her know that that's not what I said. Because again, we were talking about the whole sexual market value thing, and how sexual market value is pretty much how the sexual market views you as being a sexual compatible person, specifically in relationship to wanting to marry you or not marry you. That's all sexual market is. Everybody has one. We all have one. It's usually more put on display when you're in an environment to where your sexual value is easily determined. So college, high school is one of those places. College is one of those places. And then if you work in any type of office setting or anything like that, where you work with, 50 or 100 people or something like that, we obviously, if you've ever worked in the office and you've ever worked in corporate America, you obviously know who's the hot person in the office is, who the least hot person is in the office, and who's really trying to gain attention from one another. That's sexual market value. That's not me calling nobody cattle, and I never used that word cattle. Okay, and so again, hopefully I said y'all can read through this. Again, pause the video, all you want, and everything like that. So, again, when I woke up to this stuff, like I said, I got the children and everything like that ready, and then I made this response because again, I knew kind of what was going on, and like I said, and even I told Carrie after she had sent me a PM and on the stuff and everything, I walked myself into this one because again, and I've had these conversations with Carrie and stuff like that before, and most of the time when I have these type of conversations, they don't challenge my position in good faith. It's always them challenging me from the position of looking for me to kind of be the asshole. Does that make any sense? And so that's why I said I walked myself into this one, and I honestly said after this right here, I'm just going to stop having conversations with. I'll get into really what I kind of personally think as far as the stuff, but I'm really just going to stop having conversations overall with this type of stuff because it's just it always ends in this type of fashion, and it always ends with me apparently being the asshole. So whatever. So this is my reply that I said. This is going to be verbatim. You guys can see it here, but even for the people that might be blind that watch this video or something like that, I'm just going to tell you exactly what I said. This is verbatim. I said, Rachel Taylor, this is my last reply to this. Firstly, I never compared you to cattle. That was Carrie Haley, which this is a fact. I never said that. How you interpret what I say does not change what it is. You broke off the engagement from your first husband, something that is typical of women, as they tend to be the ones breaking off good marriages / engagements. This is true. You did that after you had sex with him. You've now set the bar that a man should be able to have sex with you before marriage. This is just me responding to what was given to me and the information that was given to me. Okay? Men don't want to have to pay more for the same things someone else has got. So your sexual SMV, sexual market value, went down. This isn't a concept. I put that in quotation marks because, again, Carrie and others have used this word concept as if it's a theoretical thing. And again, this isn't something theoretical. 2 + 2 is 4, regardless of when humans discovered 2 + 2 was 4. 2 + 2 has always been 4. It is what it is. So again, I just said this isn't a concept I came up with. This is simply how the world works. Now, as far as the stuff that happened when you chose to get blackout drunk, it sucks. It really does. And those men need to be held accountable. You also need to hold yourself accountable too, though, for even putting yourself in that type of situation. You're blaming purity culture for something that you partially chose to do. That's not purity culture failing. That's you as a human being making a mistake. Now, I'm not going to hold you to your mistake forever, but I am going to hold you to not taking any sort of accountability for your actions. Also, yes, men sleeping around isn't seen in the same light as a woman doing so. Guess what? Life ain't fair. It is what it is. Y'all keep talking about how you feel and expect the world to feel bad for you. That's just not how it works. And this is when shit went down. Again, I shouldn't even need to do this, but whatever. I'm going to expand on these comments, okay? And because, again, where I received the majority of my pushback on, and I was called victim blaming, is on the whole take some accountability for being blackout drunk. Look, ladies, first of all, let me give you some context, more context here. This is Greenville College. This is a private college. It's a private Christian college. But even outside of a Christian college, most college campuses have a policy and a rule in place that says there are to be no alcohol or drugs on campus. And they have that policy in place to be able to protect people from stuff like getting, I want to use that word, like having your purity taken from you forcefully. That's why that stuff is in place. So if you choose to go to a random stranger's place, and then you not only choose to go to that random stranger's place, you get drunk. You then get drunk to the point to where you're blacking out. You have to hold yourself to some type of accountability so you know what not to do next time. It's similar to like if I was to knowingly go to an area that I know is crime ridden, that I know is an area where they always are stealing and stuff like that, and then I wave around $10,000 and I say, hey guys, here's $10,000. Here's $10,000 right here. I'm going to put it in my pocket, and you people ain't going to do shit. If I was to do that and walk in that shady area and then find myself getting robbed, jumped by 5 dudes who ain't got no money and is looking for a come up, of course I'm the victim to that because those people shouldn't have did that. But at the same time, I have to hold myself accountable for being a dumbass. Again, I knew what could happen. I knew the outcome of what could happen for the action that I was about to take. It's the same thing here, guys. And it's so it's very it's super disrespectful to call somebody a victim blamer and make it seem as if someone like myself is siding with somebody that's a purity culture taker. Not purity culture taker. Let me just say it, I don't care. A rapist. When you're saying that somebody like myself is siding with a rapist, is siding with a molester, is siding with somebody that is a sexual predator, that's super disrespectful. And the reason why I just got so, like I said, that's why I'm kind of done with this whole thing here, is because, again, this lady, she doesn't know me. John, he really doesn't know me. But Carrie should somewhat know me and know my character. And if you don't know me or my character, or this is what you really think of me, then it makes me think, why do I even go to that church? Is this what y'all really on here about? And again, like I told them, because again, all this whole comedy stuff really just went back to my thing, to where I simply said that I feel like a lot of what churches are doing right now is they're moving the goalpost in order to be able to get asses back in the seat at the church so they can get some money. Because ultimately that's what's happening. If the churches are losing memberships and stuff like that, and since they're losing memberships, they're losing money. That's really what it comes down to, for me, as far as how I see this stuff. And so they start to, in order for them not to lose members, in order for them to gain favor with these other people who might be living lives that they know they probably shouldn't live, they sit up there and they coddle them and everything like that. And again, that's just not me. That's not me. And let me get to the rest of this real quick. So let me get, like I said, this is where the stuff went on, what broke down. Okay, so this is basically what Carrie said to me. I hope this was your actual last post, because I know my husband well. Victim blaming will not fly. Someone who is sexually assaulted does not get blamed for what happens to them. Why? Because if it was just the people that put themselves in that bad situation that got raped, we would have a lot less rape. And regardless of what the victim did before getting assaulted, they did not make the choice to do that. Rachel did not ask to be assaulted. You see, the language that she's trying to say is she's trying to say that I said that she asked to be assaulted. And again, that's not what I said. That's not even how somebody got that out of what I said. Again, just speaks volumes to how they feel about me inside of their mind. And again, this is why I said I'm going to just stop reposting to this stuff, or replying to this stuff, because again, 9 times out of 10 when it comes to me, again, they're not coming to the conversation in good faith. They're just coming to the conversation to see what they can pick up out of me, and then hone in on that idea. And so she said what she said, and then what she did, she went back, got her husband. Now, see, this is where I really got mad. Okay. So, this is John David Haley. He is kind of like I said, like a secondary pastor at Knox Mills, right? He said, "This is the most ignorant, selfish, uninformed thing you could have ever thought, let alone said. You have gone through shit in your life, but unless you have a story of similarity to Rachel to share, then you can shut the hell up. Victim blaming is the lowest thing that man can do. It makes me sick. Take your sexual value theory and shove it up my ass." Okay. Human beings have way more qualities than their sexual organs. Did I say that they didn't? Again, this is more people reading stuff into me, but it's fine. It's not fine, but it is what it is. Whatever. Their value is immeasurable, no more than a sexual organ. My God, the absolute disaster of a comment. If those are your opinions, happily keep them to yourself. That's how it is. And see, that's where like I said, I think this is my last comment on this dumbass stuff. No, I got one more comment here. I just said, yo, man, don't insult me. I've been super respectful toward you and everyone in here, and y'all just have a blessed day. Because you see, look, and again, I already knew, like I said, I know how people, I knew how this stuff is going to go down. I didn't know how it was going to go down like this, but I knew what it could lead to. And like I said, I walked myself into this BS. But it is what it is. And let me just go ahead and get this stuff off my chest. Look, John. Look, Carrie. Look, Rachel. Neither one of you guys really know me that well. I said I'm super disappointed in Carrie, but I'm sure my disappointment won't really matter to her because, again, I don't. She obviously doesn't value me as much as I feel like I would have valued her, because I would never place her into a position to make her feel like she's sitting there siding with a rapist or something like that. But it is what it is. If, like I said, the fact that y'all don't know me and you don't know my life, but you're sitting here talking to a black man who grew up in the foster care system and is talking about if I have a story and stuff like that, that's the only way that I can be eligible to even speak upon this type of stuff, it's utter bullshit. It's utter bullshit. I'm not about to get into no stories about myself because this isn't about myself. This is simply about accountability. Okay? This is simply about accountability. But the reason why this pissed me off is because, like, John, well, you a whole man. You see, and I think that's what I said in one of these little comments. You a whole man. I expect some of these women to act out in emotional ways and everything like that. But you a whole man coming at and insulting me. And as a man, like I told you in the comments, in the PM when you PM me and when your wife PM me and everything, you could be punched in your mouth. You see, that type of energy that you display, that's some energy that you display on this keyboard warrior type of stuff. But see, I can march into that Knox nose right there, and if Greg or Steve or the pastor isn't there, and I get into your face and press you about it, you're going to be silent. I've already felt your energy, brother. I've been in the same room and presence as you, brother. And so I know how you would respond as a man. So when you talk all this stuff, all this nonsense like this over the keyboard, that's some beta bitch shit. Because you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't talk that way to the pastor. You wouldn't talk that way to Greg. Because you know there's a level of respect there. But obviously you're going to talk this way to me because you feel like there's no level of respect and there's no threat of any type of consequences that could happen. Again, I kept the whole conversation peaceful, respectful, and everything like that. And again, like I told your wife several times after she, again, PM'd me, because like I said, I was done with the whole stuff after the stuff. This wasn't to bash Rachel. I got her name. Yeah, Rachel. This wasn't to bash Rachel. I don't know Rachel. I don't know what counseling she's been through. I don't know who's told her what. I simply responded to a comment that was given to me, that was pinned to me. Again, we can scroll up here. She tagged me. So she specifically was looking for my input, and she got exactly what she was looking for. She just didn't get it in the way that she thought she was going to get it. But if you really want to know how I feel about all of this, you guys, let me be specific here. Carrie, Rachel, John. Again, I don't know Rachel, so I can't really speak on her. I honestly don't know John like that. But Carrie, I do know you. You come from a very privileged background. You come from Sherman, a suburb of Springfield. You went to a small school in a very sheltered place with parents that wouldn't even allow you to go to the east side of Springfield. You've probably never really been to the east side of Springfield without being accompanied by anybody. You're a very privileged person talking to somebody that didn't have no type of privilege about accountability. You see, it would be easy for somebody like me to use the whole victim mentality to coddle sympathy. But see, I don't do that. I don't do that because I am a man. And men are result oriented. We care about the output. We care, not the output, the outcomes. We care about the outcomes. And being a victim, looking for sympathy in a world that, again, doesn't owe me, you, or anybody any understanding, because we are all going through our own issues and problems and stuff. Excuse me. Losing my train of thought here because I said stuff is still annoying. But yeah, you come from a very privileged place. Like I said, I could go into personal detail, but that's not what this is about. Look, again, I want to reiterate. There were ways that could have been prevented. That's all this really comes down to. There were ways that could have been prevented, and if it were a guy, as I said before, in a similar situation to that, I said he wouldn't get treated with such sympathy. He wouldn't. That's why there are so many homeless guys out here. That's why the homeless rate around the world highly, highly, highly favors men. And when we live in a modern society where women want to be on the same status quo as a man, financially, sport-wise, everything, which I'm cool with. Great, have it. But with that same status comes that same accountability. With that same status comes that same accountability. Matter of fact, we could use Rachel's example. If a guy was blackout drunk and he forced you, would he be held accountable or no? Would being would he get any type of a lesser sentence, or should he? Let me not say would, because we know different court systems out here do favor certain people. Should he get any less time or any less punishment because he was drunk? No. Even if we know that guy in his sane, sovereign mind wouldn't do that action, no. He's going to be punished accordingly to the severe amount. Because you shouldn't have never been there in the first place. Well, the same thing is here, ladies. Look, I'm just trying, because again, I was asked how I would treat my kids and my daughter and stuff like that. Look, I'm going to tell my daughter, be precautious. Don't be going out here getting drunk to the point where don't be going out here drinking, period. But especially around people you don't know and getting blackout drunk to where you can't make cognitive decisions for yourself. Because if you do that, these are the outcomes that can happen from that. And while, yeah, if anything happens to my daughter, hell yeah, I'm ready to kill that person. But at the same time, after I kill that person, I'm gonna sit her down and have a talk with her about being accountable for her actions within that. So it doesn't happen again. And see, that's the thing. You see, the reason why Carrie and John are so strong about this is because Rachel is their friend. I'm not Rachel's friend. I don't have no reason or incentive to hold back or to mince my words. See, that's what a lot of the times that happens, I feel like, when it comes to this accountability stuff. Like, we get around people that we know aren't going to hold us accountable. We know aren't going to challenge our bullshit. And then they create almost a, what's that word? I can't even think of the dang word. Alcoholics use it all the time. Enabling, that's the word. We create an enabling environment for those people. We create a environment that says, regardless of what that person might have did to get themselves into that situation, there's no way that situation could have been prevented. Because that's pretty much what you're saying when you say that there's no accountability. Well, there's no way that could have been prevented. And I just call bullshit on that. There are times to where a victim had no way to prevent things. But what I read isn't one of them. To me. It's not one of them. Because that could have been prevented. That could have been prevented. It's almost like here's another example. No, I'm not even going to use that because that's getting way too sensitive for people. I'm not even going to use that example I was thinking of. It's too sensitive. Way too sensitive. And in that case, you would have had a person that would have been a true victim, as in they had no way to be accountable to that because their accountability fell to somebody else, and that other person or set of people failed. Maybe you can read. Maybe you can guess of what I was going to go into. Anyway, though, that I hate to come back on such a downer topic, but man, as a person that that has was homeless for, let's see, pretty much all of 2018. Let me see. And a good part of 2019. I just have very little threshold when a person or set of people tell me that their circumstances couldn't be prevented, or their circumstances are too big for who they are. I think people are bigger than their circumstances are in a lot of the time. If I can go from sleeping on a chair in the middle of a night after being stuck outside for days on end in the middle of downtown Seattle and work my way to a shelter, work my way to a decent job, work my way back to Springfield, work my way back into my own vehicle, work my way, all while dealing with a CPS case in Washington that wasn't started by me, but I was partially responsible for, simply because of how me and the ex split. I'll take some accountability for that. Dealing with the CPS case out there, having to go to Springfield to deal with a legal case while being homeless, while having to pay child support, even though I'm still homeless, getting into my car, living out of that said car, and bounce my way back up to get my own place, to get my kids back, to fight that case by myself. Again, 2,000 miles away from my home state. I feel like if I could do that at the same time while being in a homeless shelter and watching people who were just using the system or wanted to stay in that level of no accountability, and watching them go through the same cycle of stuff while I was in and out of that place within 3-4 months of having nothing, I feel like if I can do that, if I can overcome foster care, if I can overcome 10 different families, 10, 12 different families, I feel like other people are strong enough, because there's other people that are way stronger than I am, mentally, physically, whatever. I feel like if I can do that, then they can too. But it starts with holding yourself accountable for whatever things that you can't control. Holding yourself accountable for the things that you can control. See, some of y'all need to go to some of these alcohol AA programs. Real AA programs. Because see, AA programs, they hold you accountable to everything. Real AA programs, that's Alcoholics Anonymous, or GA programs, that's Gamblers Anonymous, or drug rehabilitation programs. The ones that really actually want to see you succeed and not be in that same program again, they're going to hold you accountable for everything. They're not going to let you off the hook for that stuff. How does the GA slogan? As a matter of fact, let's look it up real quick. We're here. Y'all can look it up with me. Let's look it up together. AA slogan. No. What does that mean? What is it called? Help me control. I forgot exactly how it goes. Not that one. There's one little thing that they used to. They have a little coin that you get. Help me control the things that I can't control. Let me look it up. See how it goes. The Serenity Prayer. Here it is. The Serenity Prayer. I forgot what it was called. I'm sorry, guys. There it is, right here. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Some of y'all need to really look into what that means. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I'm not saying you can change being raped. I'm not saying you can change a person that is wanting to rape you. I am saying that you can change the circumstances that led up to being in that position. That's it. And I believe you're strong enough to do so. I believe you're strong enough to recognize when you might be putting yourself in a position where favorable outcomes aren't likely to happen for you. I believe you're strong enough to do that. Maybe, and again, this is to Rachel, if she watches, or anybody that has, dealt with that. I believe you have the strength to not put yourself in that situation again. Heck, not even just regarding rape. This could be regarding any type of difficulty that you might be having in life. I believe that you have the strength to change. I believe that you have the strength to overcome. But to overcome those things, you're going to have to first accept your accountability in those things that led you to where you are at that time. And then make the necessary changes so you don't repeat the same mistake and get the same outcome again. You do something different that results in a different, hopefully more positive outcome. All right, so that's all I got for tonight. Hopefully the video quality is graded where it needs to be. Definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in. And if you watched this entire video, thank you. I know these videos are long-winded and stuff, and sometimes the music cuts out or it gets boring and stuff like that. I don't even know if this music is still going on or not. Let me check real quick. But yeah. So it hasn't been going on for a little bit, but it is what it is. But, thank you guys for listening and stuff like that. Look, once again, like I said, I hate that stuff got that out of touch and line, but like I said, it is what it is. That's usually how a lot of that stuff goes when it comes to me. I've just come to accept it now. It is what it is. But again, I Again, if Rachel, if you're watching this, I think you're from just the little brief conversation that we had. I believe you're a strong person, and I believe that you can get past those things and everything like that. My thing was just, again, in order to get past those things, you have to recognize, you have to be able to recognize what things that you could have done in order to prevent that situation from happening. That's it. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in and stuff, and have a very, 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 very blessed evening and rest of the week. See you later.